Hello, we are going to start level 9. So we're going to do it a lot of the way we did it yesterday. So you're going to say the sounds, and then I'll walk you through our different steps of our lesson. And what we're going to focus on today is 2 new suffixes. And we're going to review the suffixes that we've already learned. If you remember, a suffix is what comes at the end of a short word. So one of the suffixes was ing, like in the words playing, spilling, and feeling. So remember, you have a small word and you add ing as the suffix. So we have ing. The other one we have learned is at the end of a word. So if we start off with the word play and add the suffix it's player. Fast, at the suffix we get faster, and the word hard at the suffix and you get harder. Okay, we're going to go through our sounds and challenge you to see if you can go pretty quickly after me. So I'm going to maybe do 3 seconds after a sound for you to say it. Okay, the first one. K, s, r, or, ow, o, ow, oo, e, o, oi, oi, a, aw, e, ew, a, ear, k, sh. At any point you want to pause it, you may, and rewind it a little bit and replay if you miss anything. All right, so now if we focus our attention on the screen, we're going to we're on spelling sounds right now. So the sounds I'd like you to spell. All right, so I'm going to give you some sounds, pause it, spell it, and then play again. So how would you spell ch after a short vowel? Pause it. How would you spell k after a short vowel? And it's usually at the end of a word. What are 2 ways to spell s? Okay, we're going to move on to reading sentences and some words. Our sentences are coming from page 59. I'll read the sentence and then you're going to say it after me. And later on you can go to page 59 and you can read those sentences on your own too. Okay, here we go. He is farming on a huge plot of land. Hike to the top of the steep ridge. How can you live on that small budget? Bruce dug a long ditch by the border of the garden. Use 1-inch margins when you type the theme. Grace got a nice price for her flashy car. They will dredge the lake to make it deeper. The stagehands could also act in the plays. Frank put a brace under the kitchen shelf. And then we have a couple words. Barge, pinch, concrete. Ooh, I see a vowel consonant E syllable right there. Nudge, bench, reptile, stage, sage, inflate, rage. I also noticed in these words the j sound with the ge. I saw it in stage, in sage, and in rage, and I saw it in barge. So start seeing if you can notice those things as you're reading. That's what helps us become really good at decoding big, long words. Okay, we're going to go to spell words. So it's important to pause after I say a word, spell it, and then press play again. Okay, your first word is badge. Badge. Pause. Your next word is free. Free. Pause. Your next word is merge. Merge. Pause. Your next word is checking. Checking. Pause. Your next word is panther. Panther. Pause. Okay, so those are our words. Go back and see if you can notice the ones that are 2-syllable words and divide them for me. You can pause. Okay, now that you've divided your words too, that's great. Try to also notice if they're open, closed, vowel consonant E, are controlled, vowel pair, all those things are part of our decoding strategies now. So now on to new material. Our new materials are suffixes. Remember in the beginning of our lesson, we knew the suffixes ing and So the first suffix that I want to do, and remember suffixes are sound parts that come at the end of a word. And the ones that we're going to do has S at the end or ES. And this actually makes 3 sounds. 3 sounds. So S and ES at the end of a word, it says S as in helps. It can also say Z as in boys. And it also says is as in fixes. Adding an S also helps us understand what some words can mean. So adding S or ES to a word, it makes it plural, which is more than 2 of something. So if you look at the words on the back, so the first 2 words have a S sound at the end of the word, like helps, picks. The Z at the end, like in boys. The is at the end, fixes, passes, spaces. So this is more than 1. So maybe fixes, it's more than one thing that's being fixed. Or passes, maybe there's more than one pass. Or spaces, there's more than one space. Okay, so more than 1 is what this suffix tells us about the word. So we're going to read some words that have the S and the ES at the end. So the first 2 rows just have the S at the end. They are marks, tells, asks, farms, picks, needs, calls, comes, plants, plays. And then the other ones have the ES at the end. Fixes, dashes, passes, catches, buzzes, boxes, wishes, presses. So when I noticed with the ES, I heard the is sound at the end. Now we're going to spell words with S and ES. Your first word is picks. Picks. Pause. Your next word is starts. Starts. Pause. Your next word is plays. Plays. Now I hear a Z with that S sound. Plays. The next sound is boys. Boys. And the next word is fixes. Fixes. And the last one to spell is buzzes. Buzzes. So really, we're becoming more aware that that S makes 3 sounds, but it's all spelled with S or an ES. Okay, the last suffix we're going to do today is an ED ending. And ED also has 3 sounds. It can say id as in planted. It can say d as in formed, or it can say t as in jumped. So ED also gives you a hint of what a word means. It's an ending that tells you that something that happened in the past, or a past action, or it's something that already happened. So let me read that a little clearer. Adding ED to the end of a word tells you it was a past action or something that already happened. So if you look at my card, like the word plant. Okay, if it's just plant, I think of something that's growing in my yard. But if I add an ED, planted, that means I already did it. So I might have put that plant in the ground like yesterday. I add the ED, and that's how that ED tells me what that word means. The next word is farm. And when I add the ED, it's farmed. So I might think of a farm with cows and pigs, but when I add farmed, that changes the meaning of farm. It means I actually am picturing something that was already done. So like plants have already been grown or crops have grown. Taking care of the land is done in the past. He farmed his land last week. Next word, jump. So I can jump, but if I jumped, it means I already did it. Jumped. So ED tells us something that already happened. So we're going to read words with ED on page 64. And I broke them down into the sound that they make. So the first ones with ED ending are going to say id. Here we go. Started, needed, planted, rested, acted, granted, sifted, mended. The next group ends with a d sound. Called, played, farmed, seemed, filled, frowned, chilled, ringed, coiled. So feel free to pause after I read them, and then you read them, because hearing that last sound is really important. And the last group of words with ED at the end say t, asked, helped, jumped, picked, thanked, marked, milked, parked, passed. So do you hear the sound difference? It's pretty big from asked to acted. Sounds very different, but they have the same suffix ed at the end. And I think that's where we're going to end. And tomorrow when we Zoom, we'll review these 2 suffixes and read some words and spell them, and we'll learn 2 more and finish up level 9. You're doing a great job.